Can you tell us who you are and when and where you were born?
I am Ruth Haig, née Deviney, born September the 9th, 1932, in Vernonville, Ontario, Haldimand Township, Northumberland County.
And where were you a junior farmer?
I was a junior farmer in Northumberland County.
Okay. How did you first get involved in junior farmers?
My brother Doug Deviney was president of Northumberland County Junior Farmers, which was organized in 1923. It became active in 1945, and Wesley Down was the first county president, with Doug, my brother, president in 1946. So having my brother as president, I decided I would like to be in Junior Farmers too. I became a member and was president in 1956.
How many members were there in Northumberland at that time?
There are not a great number of members. I suppose up to 20 members, possibly.
Was it just one club?
At that time, it was just the county club.
What were some of the activities that you partook in Northumberland?
Northumberland County held monthly meetings. We sponsored dances, opportunities for camp, going to camp, and sometimes going to the Toronto conferences for the provincial junior farmers. Also debating and banquets.
What sort of community activities did you do in Northumberland?
I don't remember a lot about community activities. The banquets were held from one, like say Campbellford or Baltimore, and they just sort of traveled around.
Where were most of the members located in Northumberland?
Most of the members were from the farm, and our friends, and soon we, were able to get others from different county or different townships, and I enjoyed it, and I think it was my life, and I appreciate all the time I spent there.
So you had a very interesting experience. You got picked for a trip.
Yes. I tried 2 or 3 times to go, and people would urge me to try again, and I think the last time I was sick and I said, I have the measles, I can't go. Well, they said, we know your answers from other times, and so they let me off, and I was very surprised to be chosen, and it turned out to be just the wonder of my lifetime.
Who were the other people that went on the trip with you?
There were 3 others: Kay Homan from Hastings County, Angus Campbell, and I can't really remember his county, and Alan McIntosh. And our leader was Padre Young. And what a wonderful leader, none better.
Okay, we'll come back to Padre in a little bit. What did the trip to the United Kingdom involve? How did it work out?
We were placed with mainly family farms on a farm, and I can remember helping sometimes with farm chores, and sometimes, maybe the lady of the place where we were would just take me shopping. So I had lots of interesting places to see and to go to, and even a meeting, a young farmer meeting as they were called. And overall, I have kept in touch with them. and I still send Christmas greetings to at least 12 families.
Where all did you travel in the UK?
I've started out in Scotland, and then we went to England and also Ireland.
And what did you notice about the differences of their young farmers groups to junior farmers?
I think they were older than our groups, and they really had it down pat. Whereas with our junior farmers, it was either sometimes, not too planned, and I think overseas, they really knew what was up.
How was agriculture different between there and Ontario?
The first farm I visited had lots of, a big herd of Holstein cattle. And I came from a farm and where we just let the calves run to the mothers. And just seeing this milking procedure was quite spectacular to me. And they owned a lot of acreage and grew a lot of crops.
What was the method of travel to get over to the UK from Ontario?
We flew over from Toronto, and I think it was about a 10-hour trip, and we came home by boat, and that was amazing. We were on this boat, and we were supposed to be on first class, but we really mingled with the others. I forget what class it was called, but it was a tremendous experience.
Now, you talked about Padre Young. I've heard a little bit about him.
Well, he wasn't, serious. He was happy-go-lucky, and he loved teasing us. He loved to tease Kay and I, and he just made things, when I was away from home, I was apt to be a little bit feeling afraid or nervous, and he just dispelled all of that, and we could have fun with him.
Were there other provincial activities that you partook in Junior Farmers?
Not a whole lot. I know some of my friends were on the debating team, and I don't remember. I did go to Junior Farmer Camp, and that's where I think I really grew up, because the boys and girls mingled, and I just became grown up. I came home and I said, "I'm different, Mom. I've grown up." We had so much fun at Junior Farmer Camp.
Where was camp held?
It was held at Lake Ashunia.
And what time of year was it held?
Probably in the summer. I was in Junior Farmers during the 50s, and I was teaching school, and it would be in the summer, I'm quite sure.
How did you get picked to go to camp?
I don't know whether I was picked or I offered to go. I don't know how that came about.
What sort of things happened at camp? What were the activities?
It was a lot of socializing, and even having our meals was a fun experience. As time has gone on, I have never thought about my camp experience, so I probably have pictures someplace, but as I said, I just started to grow up.
How were you divided up in groups at leadership camp?
I think we were called different names of Indian tribes.
And what sort of Indian theme activities did you have?
I can only think about doing some Indian dances. Other than that, I just don't remember.
Okay. Were there any other provincial events that you went to?
I can't recall any right now. Sorry.
Okay. Were you active in sports locally?
No, I wasn't in sports. I like dancing, and I enjoyed the banquets. And I think the most main thing from Junior Farmers was finding my future husband. And he was from the east part of our county and was a farmer, and his parents, they would like to go to the barn and they would strip cows. That was a must. Well, that was different from my home, where the calves just ran to their moms. And my husband tried to get me to learn how to milk a cow. Well, he realized I was just too nervous. Well, he said, I guess you'll have to feed the calves. And I'm still doing it.
So we've already talked about Padre Young. Was there other people in Junior Farmers that were quite important that helped Junior Farmers in Northumberland that you think we should talk about?
Well, some of the presidents, like Wes Downs, and as I say, I am forgetting, but I can't just say for sure. I do know my experience through Junior Farmers. I think it helped make my son, my youngest son Kevin, decide he wanted to join, and he became president. And we look forward to getting the newspaper, the magazine about Junior Farmers every year, and I would stress that I hope the Northumberland County, their Junior Farmers will get it out in the newspaper. We would like to know what's going on.
Let's talk about Wes Down then. He did a lot for Junior Farmers in Northumberland, did he?
Yes, he did, and I can't commence to really put my finger on that right now. I would have to get talking to someone to help me bring that up.
How much did membership cost? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember any fee. And the main way of making money was through doing sponsoring a dance. And gee, I can't remember what else we did to make money.
What was the relationship like between the Ministry of Agriculture and Food and Junior Farmers?
I do remember Ralph Banbury, Ag Rep, being so supportive. And I remember going to his home, going to the office, the agricultural office, and having our meetings there, or even planning our meetings. He was around and helped. We needed some older person to help guide us, and he gave us that guidance. And there were others who followed, who did help. I can't come up with their names right now.
In your opinion, what is the importance of having a program like Junior Farmers in Ontario?
One main thing I think is making friends and keeping friends. It has been wonderful, and especially from my trip overseas. 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, I had a phone call, and my friend from England said she was coming to visit me. Her son lives in Canada. And I said, I said that would be wonderful. And she came. And we took pictures. And yes, we just talked about old times and about, writing every Christmas and being in touch that way. And she's been here before. And my husband and I even went over to England on a trip and visited a few of the farms where I had been before. So I think it's the friendships that is number one on my list.
You touched on this, but we'll give you a chance to expand. How did Junior Farmers change you as a person?
As I was growing up, I was quite shy, and I would never think of speaking out in a meeting or giving my advice or my opinion. And I think it really did help me in that regard, especially when I became president. I had to speak up and direct the other members. And since I was president there, I became a member of the Women's Institute where I could take part. And I was tweezermeer collector of items and pictures. I still do take hundreds of pictures. And I'm in UCW work where I can take part. And I do the archives. And I'm on the fair board. And I think just having that start just gave me enough encouragement to go on and be members of these organizations.
There are a few stories that I haven't asked questions for about that happened to you and Junior Farmers that you could share.
There was one I'd like to share, but I shouldn't. And that's when the Junior Farmers raided a melon patch. So I said to my son, it'd be fun if I just mentioned that, but we didn't do any harm. We didn't want to be talked about, so we actually didn't do any harm.
Okay. Is there another story that you can talk about?
No, I just think the fun we had, and as I mentioned, it sure is a matrimonial bureau. That's where so many of us have got our mates and had so much wonderful time together.
If you could say something to a Junior Farmer member today, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that the rest of us in Northumberland County want to know what's going on. And if they could just put a few stories about their organization, about their meetings, and where they're going and what they're doing, I think that is important.
What have you done with yourself since leaving Junior Farmers?
I have been living here in Campbellford, Hillcroft Farm, for over 50 years. My husband unfortunately passed away 11 years ago. He had cancer. But I was so fortunate in having my youngest son take over. Now, even before Milt passed away, he came in one day and he said, "Mom, I sold a cow." He says, "I don't know what my dad will think." But I'm sure Milt was quite agreeable. But he's been able to do our our farming, doing our crops, and until it was May this year when we sold our milk quota and our over 50 head of milking cows. My oldest son works here every day. He's had a triple bypass, so it has been hard for him, but he's doing really well. And he lives with his friend in about a mile or two from Hort Station on a 100-acre farm. And so the boys really work together really well. And I'm still going to the barn night and morning. I go at 6 o'clock, and I'm still interested. And I mainly feed calves and do wash up. But I love it, just love it here.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say, Ruth?
I don't think so.
Well, thank you very much.